Hello and welcome to Tales from the Grand Line, a One Piece manga podcast. My name is Mackenzie, and you may know me from the Animates podcast, but over here, I am the captain of my own pirate ship, and today I am setting sail into the Grand Line to explore the world of One Piece for the very first time. But what is a captain without their navigator? Especially when I am guaranteed to get lost on this journey. So I have recruited my friend Shaun Rollins from the Anime Out of Context podcast to be my ship's navigator and guide me through the world of Eiichiro Oda's One Piece. Shaun Rollins, welcome aboard.
Thank you. And is this just your excuse to get pictures of me in Nami's outfit?
You're goddamn right it is.
Well, hey, man, I'm nothing if not accommodating. Thank you for having me, man. I'm happy to go on this journey with you because, quite frankly, none of my friends will talk about One Piece with me, and I needed this excuse.
Same. I literally picked up the first volume because you were like, manga's better than the show. And by the time I finished reading the first 3 volumes, I was like, I need someone to talk to about this with. And why not make it into content?
Yeah, hey, you gotta maximize those outputs, and hopefully it'll help you clarify your own thoughts and feelings on the story as well. Because as I'm sure you're aware, One Piece is a still ongoing but very long and very well-beloved story. So beloved, in fact, that people across the countries have used Luffy's Jolly Roger as a sign for freedom and fighting against oppressors.
You're dang right they did.
It is insane how much of a genuine impact that the silly, goofy pirate story has had on the greater world. And honestly, I think it's about time I had a good outlet to talk about it, because on my podcast, I got to talk about the first handful of episodes with my co-host, and he had things to say, and I tried to convince him to be like, hey, we could do more. And he's like, no, thank you, because he has commitment issues. But I'm very well versed in the world of One Piece. I have been reading since I was just a wee little lad. I think I read it initially. The first thing I saw was the 4Kids dub, which we can talk about that in the future. But since this is primarily a manga podcast, we're going to highly focus on the actual written, illustrated text rather than most of the adaptations. But I have been following One Piece since I was a wee lad. I think at around the age of 9 or 10 is when I first started reading One Piece. And ever since I turned around 18 or 19, I have been a up-to-date, week-to-week manga reader. Wow. And let me tell you, break weeks are hard, but man, oh man, if it keeps Oda sane and healthy, that's all we care about, because every time we get a new chapter, we celebrate like it's Christmas anyways.
Yeah, we don't need more manga artists getting wildly sick from overworking themselves. I don't want to see a Rip Oda post like we saw for Toriyama recently anytime soon.
Yep, nope. Because, at least Toriyama finished his story.
No, it's still ongoing.
Well, okay, yes. Dragon Ball Super is still ongoing, but Toyotaro is, more or less carrying the broad scope legacy and the continued story and whatnot.
Correct, yeah,
with,
exactly.
With whatever is left over of Toriyama's notes.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. At my perspective is he wrapped up the original run of Dragon Ball, and he did a great job with that and that alone.
That's
Oda hasn't done that yet. We are so in the thick of some of the most wild and crazy shit you could ever possibly imagine. And the fact that I have to wait a long ass time to talk about it with you is going to be difficult, but not impossible. Because my goal here, while I'm on this show with you, is to help you answer any questions you have, probe you for information, because ultimately I've experienced this story on multiple fronts. I've reread it multiple fronts. I've seen various adaptations of it. And like I mentioned earlier, I've even seen the 4Kids dub, and that's not a peach. So ultimately, I want to hopefully guide you through the story, help clarify some things, ask you questions, and make sure that you understand kind of the general idea of things that are going on. And if there are any points of confusion along the way, I should be able to help clarify in a way that will not be like, well, you see in 500 chapters, this particular character has this particular fruit, which is what has repercussions for this particular action 400 chapters earlier, and you don't really know about it till you get to that point.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
No. It's going to be broad strokes like, okay, so without talking about things too far in the future, this is what it means here and now and what we do at the time during this chapter.
My connection to One Piece is far smaller than yours. And I just want to say up front, because I know people are going to give me an insane amount of shit for this. Yes, I have a retro anime podcast. No, I have not properly seen or read One Piece. I need to get that out of the way, because people bring it up every time they find out I have a retro anime podcast. You haven't done One Piece? No. Look, as a kid, no one in my circle was into One Piece. Like the manga and the anime came out just as I was finishing junior high going into high school. I was already into so many specific anime. And at that point, I was getting into like playing in punk bands, skateboarding with my friends. So I still watched a lot of anime, but I just never really picked up on or got into One Piece. However, what do I know about One Piece is the following. First off, story-wise, not a lot. I've seen maybe 15 episodes of the anime, a little bit of the live action, but visually, I have seen far more than most people who know nothing about One Piece.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience going over the outfits with your co-host on Animates.
And with you.
And with me.
You and I did some One Piece content. We had you rank some characters. We had you do a blind bracket one night on a stream. So, and I've opened dozens of One Piece packs. So I've seen a lot of artwork and I've seen a lot of characters, but I have no idea, are they good? Are they bad? What they relate to, what their stories are. All I know is that there's attractive characters and there's ugly characters because Oda has very little space in his brain for designing normal looking people.
It's true.
But I don't say that as a bad thing.
No. Oda is very good at character design, but also very consistent in how he designs characters, leading to a lot of people calling his character designs very samey, especially when it comes to women.
Yeah. But so yeah, some people might think I've been spoiled because I've seen that. I don't think I have. I think if anything, this has encouraged me to want to read the manga so I can meet these characters and find their lore. Like, I want to know, is Shirley the sugar mama businesswoman you said she is? Is Charlotte Smoothie as cool as she is tall? Which you said you would climb her like a tree, I believe was your exact quote.
Mountains were made to be climbed because, this isn't much of a spoiler. She's like over 16 feet tall. Go figure.
That I could see from the artwork. But
yeah.
The other two big questions are, is Nico Robin is as wonderful and amazing as you say she is?
Yes. Look, I don't need to be coy about that. That's my favorite Straw Hat next to Sanji. And she's great. She's wonderful.
That's fair. And the last thing I really want to find out is and this is only going to happen if I actually watch the anime. So when we get to this in the manga, I will bring it up because I just really do want to know, is your Brook impression accurate?
I think I do a good job with the laugh primarily. The laugh is the easiest thing to do because he genuinely laughs like a pirate.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's just the most solid. And I love it. I adore Brook, especially recently because like I said, there's been some recent stuff with Brook that has been very fascinating to learn that I can't talk about. So, hey.
I will say the hardest part about this is the fact that it's so big and there's so many things. Like, Lindsay hates them. I love the egghead outfits. I can't wait to get those on screen. I think they're hilarious.
Oh, yeah. You just got 1,000 chapters to go, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
And that is the sticking point for most people when it comes to this story. People get told that they should consume the story, whether it's by watching the anime or reading the manga. And then they ask, how long is it? Well, it's still ongoing. And then they find out, over 1,000 chapters, because at the time of this particular recording, we are currently on chapter 1186, which is a lot. But one thing that myself and anybody in the One Piece community will always point out is that it does seem like a lot, and it is. However, once you get started and once you get properly invested, by the time you catch up, you're going to be sitting there with the rest of us being like, well, clearly it's not enough. What the hell? What's the problem?
And I mean, I've been reading on the Shonen Jump app. It's like $5 a month.
Yeah, no,
it's great.
It's the most. It's a very easily accessible manga to legally read.
Yeah, I really do hope I hit a moment where I go, I get it. Shaun is right about everything.
Hey, I didn't say that. But if more people start saying that, then maybe I won't be bullied as much in my other content creation productions.
I will tell you right now, a lot of Remington's opinions are not good. So yours are far better.
Well, it's all a matter of perspective. But one thing I will maintain is that my opinions on One Piece, I think, are pretty well informed and pretty good. And the main goal of this podcast as well is, while I'm guiding you through this story and talking with you about the various aspects of it, I don't want to be like some of the other podcasts out there that are not like, you're going to be the central focus. Let's just put it that way. I will help guide you through things, and I want your views and opinions to be first and forward as the quote-unquote captain of this vessel, as it were.
So you're my One Piece Discord mod, and I'm your One Piece kitten?
Ooh, man, if you want to establish that relationship early, you're welcome to, man. But I know from history, from history of recording with another lad, that the more fuel you feed that fire, the bigger it grows, and the more likely people are going to make some very strange assumptions about you in your personal life.
Not Shaun. See, I'm far older than you, so if anything, I'd be the daddy.
Hey, man, if you can start paying for all my crap, I'll take it.
We'll see how this podcast goes.
But yes, we are here to talk about, I believe, just Romance Dawn today, now that we've briefly introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
Is there any other aspects that you would like to cover before we get into it?
All I want to say is real quick note on the format specifically. Right now, we are doing an episode every other Thursday where we'll be doing 1 to 2 episodes per arc, depending on the size. However, I do know, and Shaun has made it very clear to me, that later on, there will be some arcs that will require multiple episodes. And boy, am I glad, because originally I was like, yeah, we'll do like a mini podcast with like 12 episodes where we do like one whole saga per episode. And you were like, put the fucking brakes on, brother.
Yeah, genuinely, you came to me and be like, man, this will be just a nice, cute little short project. And I'm like, oh, buddy, you don't really understand how big this story is. Because, like, a lot of people, if a One Piece fan ever tells you, oh, it's not that long, don't listen to them. It is. It takes time. I mean, the fastest way is to read the manga, which is what we'll be doing, but it is a big story. 1,000 chapters of anything takes a long time, especially if you want to actually take in what you're reading and actually have mindful thought processes about everything.
Well, if the folks decide that they really like it, we might slow it down even more if that's what they want, or if they want us to do even deeper, 5 at a time for chapters or something. It's entirely up to what you guys kind of do, even for like release schedule. So like if you want to follow along, subscribe, comment, give it a review, show it some love. It'll help us grow and give you potentially more content in the future.
So either way, we look forward to hearing your feedback. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to let us know. But I think that just about covers it. Initially, when we had this all lined up, we thought about talking about multiple arcs, but I'm told that just Romance Dawn alone for you has already been quite a note-filled triumph, considering it's only a small handful of chapters.
11 pages.
11 pages for 7 chapters. 7 chapters, and you've already got multiple pages more than chapters.
Yes, I do.
So that's fascinating to me. Because not that Romance Dawn is, uncomplicated or such, but it is the simplest the story of One Piece ever gets. It is the introduction to our main character, and it is the introduction to his first crew member.
That is true. And I realize I probably overnoted. I just, that's how I am, baby. And I do want to start off by saying that Romance Dawn is one of the best arc, chapter, whatever titles ever written. Just the name Romance Dawn is so damn good.
Oh, yeah. So the name Romance Dawn, there's some interesting history behind that, because it was the prototype name for One Piece itself. Oda did a large series of one-shots before One Piece was released, all grouped in a collection called the Wanted Collection. And One Piece prototype's name was, in fact, just Romance Dawn.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So Romance Dawn is, and always has been, meant to be the beginning. And you're right, it is a good name, because when you say Romance Dawn, most people think of romance in terms of, like, quite literally romantic love between people.
Yeah.
But no, when we're talking romance here, we're talking romance in the classical sense.
Yes.
Like the embellishment of literature, the over-the-top flowery flavor of everything. And Dawn, of course, being the very beginning. And it's a great name, and it gives you a strong idea of that, hey, this story is beginning, and we're going to hit the ground running really fucking hard. Because, unlike in the anime, the manga opens up with us meeting Luffy as a child. And child Luffy is quite the spunky little guy. Because, as I'm sure you were surprised to see when you first opened the chapter, is we get an opening shot of a young little lad stabbing himself in the face with a knife.
Introducing your main character just being like, "Huh," into his face, he wants to look cool in front of pirates, is pretty damn hardcore. And especially considering they don't show that in the anime, I was very surprised by that.
One thing I should also probably mention first, though, before we get into it, everybody who tunes in on this show has probably already consumed One Piece.
Yes.
Yeah. Because generally speaking, when there are One Piece fans, the first thing that a One Piece fan looks for in One Piece related content is people experiencing One Piece for the first time. And I would be bereft to neglect, at the very least, a brief summary of the world and how we got to where we are. Probably should have done that first, but Luffy's opening face stab always stands out to me more than the true first page of One Piece, which is in fact the introduction of Gold Roger.
Even in my notes, I have it before my Gold Roger notes because it sucks you in.
Like, you see this cute little guy with a big old, like, gritted teeth. They're like, haha, look at me. And this is how tough I am. Just, there you go. And it's everybody, of course, freaking out because a child stabbed himself in the face.
Yeah. The Gold Roger scene really does set up the whole story, and it kind of gives you everything you need to know.
Yeah, because while Luffy's introduction is the perfect character introduction, the one-page introduction of the whole manga is a simple view of the execution. Gold Roger, the king of the pirates, had achieved it all. Wealth, fame, power had all been his. Not surprisingly, the final words before they lopped off his head inspired adventurous throughout the world to sail the seas. My treasure, why, it's right where I left it. It's yours if you can find it, but you'll have to search the whole world. Now, One Piece fans will notice that that is not the exact wording that we are all familiar with. And that's because, unfortunately, we are still working off of the Viz dub of the manga, because that is the legal way to get it. So some of the flowery language that we're used to, especially from the anime, isn't there. The general idea of the premise of the story is, hey, the world has entered a great pirate era with the execution of the Pirate King, and he left all of his treasure in one place, if you can find it, otherwise known as the One Piece, thus establishing that the world is filled with pirates longing for adventure and hoping to find this grand mystery treasure that the greatest pirate who ever lived left behind. That's a great introduction to a world, if you ask.
Hell yeah. Like, I guarantee if this was the real world and some like dude left that speech being like, I left my fortune somewhere in the American desert, go find it, we would devolve into violence so fast.
Yes.
Like, it would just be this insane treasure hunt where if it was just like, yeah, it's all of the treasure of the world, all the Aztec treasure or something that we found, we've put it in one place. Like, that's intense. And you're right, it's kind of this perfect intro going from like the age of the pirates, and you're like, oh, that's so cool, to like little boy stabbing face. And just a bunch of drunken pirates being like, oh my God, you damn little moron.
It is a great contrast. We are given a grand scope of world. We're giving a setting. It's the great age of piracy. And then we're introduced to a little lad who wants to be a pirate himself and to prove it to these other pirates that happen to be hanging out. It's like, haha, look at me. I'm a tough little lad. And it very quickly helps you establish that though Luffy is a very silly, straightforward, silly little guy, he also has a lot of passion and strong willpower and desire. And even from a young age, like, that cannot be overshadowed.
Yeah.
It's a perfect opening chapter because we are introduced to Luffy. We understand where he's coming from. And then we are also introduced to his mentor figure, that being red-haired Shanks.
Real quick question. Is milk some kind of joke in One Piece? Like, is it like a specific thing?
Okay, so in One Piece, not so much. It's more so the typical, it's like an old, quote unquote, manliness thing.
Okay.
If you've ever played Skyrim, you'll have like the occasional guard be like, oh, you're a bit of a milk drinker, aren't you? As in, like, you know, you're not a full-grown tough guy. Yeah, so that's not necessarily a One Piece thing as much as it is like an old school pirate thing, where it's like, oh man, so you're a bit of a milk drinker, yeah, so you're not as manly and tough because you don't drink grog or beer like the rest of us.
I'm stronger because my bones are stronger. Oh man, I love Shanks' crew.
Yeah, Shanks' crew is great. The red-haired pirates, they are very, very cool.
They got great names too. Lucky Roo, Lime Juice, Bonk Punch.
Bonk Punch. We do love Bonk Punch.
And his monkey, I think he's one of the monkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just was looking at pictures of them and I was like, that's awesome.
Yep. Bonk Punch. You don't ever really learn this in the manga, at least as where we are, but Bonk Punch is their musician.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, Shanks is so cool. Of the chapter, he's probably my favorite character.
Well, yeah, because we quickly realize that we know that we're reading a story about our silly little guy Luffy wanting to become the king of the pirates. And this chapter very clearly establishes why he wants to become king of the pirates, essentially. It's because Shanks, who is a major part of his childhood life, is just the coolest dude and a big source of inspiration and inspires that desire for freedom and adventure in him. Because he is, by all accounts, just a really chill dude who is willing to spend his time, even though he's, a rough and tumble pirate, with this young lad who doesn't really seem to have any major family that we can see.
I mean, like, he gets beer thrown on him by those, like, what are they called? The mountain bandits or whatever?
Yes.
And he just, like, gets on the floor and starts cleaning it up. And that's kind of a weird little moment. That was a moment where I was like, oh, that this is Shank's character. He's a pirate, but he's also, like, he's a good dude. He's a genuine, just, like, nice dude who's not just out there to, like, fucking fight. He's out there to have an adventure. And fighting useless mountain bandits is not going to give him the adventure he wants.
Especially knowing that in reality, these guys are chumps compared to him.
Oh, I don't doubt.
Well, I mean, come on now. I mean, it's very quickly shown in the chapter that these guys are basically nothing in comparison, but it is a very good showing of Shanks' character. He is the general story progression of, him and his crew drink out at the bar. These bandits come down, are pissed, soak him in a bunch of booze, and immediately starts going to clean it up. And of course, young poor baby Luffy, who doesn't understand, when it is okay to fight and when it's not okay to fight, immediately berates Shanks, and out of frustration, may or may not, chomps on a fancy little fruit that's sitting on the bar.
Okay, so what a hilarious introduction to the powers. Like, here's the thing. So many authors would want to do some, like, grand reveal, dramatic or action-packed or some shit like that, but not Oda. Dude was like, oh, his power? I will just have someone grab his arm, it'll stretch as he walks away, and he'll mention he ate the fruit, and that'll be it with just a couple panels. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Like, there's no grand, like, 10-episode Super Saiyan reveal or something like that. It was just like, oh, you're stretchy. And that was it. And for me, I kind of prefer that because it kind of plays into how Luffy is as a character of just like, I did a thing. Oopsie daisy.
It'll probably be fine. Just the actual casual introduction of the devil fruits as a concept is really, really funny. Because the general idea of, like, in the original manga, you don't even see him eat it. It just happens quite literally off screen. Like, as he's storming off, being like, you guys aren't real men. You guys, blah, 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 blah. You should have fought them. Should have taken them down. And then immediately just, it's like, oh, hey, what the fuck? That's weird.
Yeah.
And immediately figuring out what's going on and start yelling at him, establishing what devil fruits are. These magical fruits that once you eat them, you are given a unique ability. But the cost for that ability is that you will never be able to swim, and that water itself weakens you, and the sea itself hates you, essentially.
Which is, like, such a cool caveat to getting a power, because you're a pirate, you're on the sea, you're around water. Not being able to swim is kind of a big deal.
Yep.
And is that applies to all fruit, right? Not just the one he ate?
Yep, all devil fruits. All devil fruits have the same mechanical ability. Like, they all give a specific power because each devil fruit is unique. It's not hard. It's okay to tell you that because very quickly established.
I know there's, like, so many freaking fruits.
But the one thing they all have in common is the universal weakness to the quote-unquote energy of the sea, as it were.
I like that. I think that's a really good story beat. I think it kind of makes taking the fruit a risk, in a sense. I mean, there's also the risk that, like, oh, you might turn into a skeleton, or you might turn into, like, a little egg or something, because you get the egg fruit or some bullshit like that, which I think is kind of neat, too, because, like, some people know, I do know that some people know some of the fruits by name. Go, oh, this one will do this, oh, this one will do that. But you got to imagine there's people that grabbed a fruit that had no idea what his name was and just chomped on it, and all of a sudden they were like the Windex bottle kid from frickin' My Hero Academia or something.
Genuinely, that is kind of how it goes, because just because you eat a fruit does not mean you know what it does.
Yeah.
There's a common misconception amongst people based on a line of dialogue way later on that once you eat a fruit, you automatically know what you've eaten and you can figure things out. Blatantly untrue. Blatantly untrue, and it's an assumption. There's information about these devil fruits out there if you can find them, but mostly it's a lot of experimentation and trial and error. And our boy Luffy, he got the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or the Gum Gum fruit for us lovely English
I'm a rubber
speakers.
man.
Exactly. A fruit that gives him a rubber-like body, allowing him to essentially stretch and deform at will, which is, quite frankly, a very silly and very fun power.
That's another thing I liked, is that he's not given this, like, obscenely, like, insane power. He's given a fun power that he uses to do cool stuff. But speaking on the troubles of not being in the ocean, our little guy Luffy just can't seem to not be in the fucking water. Because this whole rest of this chapter is just about his dumbass falling in the water and getting attacked by a sea monster.
Well, in fairness, it's not exactly his fault.
No.
He tried fighting the bandits because he's a rambunctious little guy. And in order to save him, Shanks and his crew step in to deal with the bandits, quickly showing off exactly how terrifying his crew can be.
When it shows that panel of them with the gun just shooting the dude in the head with a smile on their face as if it's no big deal, that's a hard panel, man. That's a hardcore panel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it very quickly establishes that these are pirates, and they are pirates because they are willing to kill people.
He's chill and he's cool and he'll clean the bar floor, but do not fuck with his crew.
Yeah.
He will destroy. It's such like an intense, cool moment. Just like, I think it literally just says blam. And I was like, blam indeed, Oda. Blam indeed.
Yeah. I mean, it's the most casual thing. The bandit, the crew shows up trying to stop Higuruma the bear. That's his name.
Yes.
And stopping him from, hurting Luffy, one of his mountain bandit friends points a gun straight at Shanks, and then Lucky Roo, Shanks just is like, oh, you don't point these at people.
You shoot them.
Yeah, and then Lucky Roo just fully caps a guy. It is the funniest thing. 'Cause he's even full on munching on a hunk of meat while he's doing it. It is most casual thing. And in the scuffle of this fight, with Shanks fully establishing, you can do whatever you want to me, but the moment you harm my friends, that is the moment that all the gloves are off. And it establishes exactly how Luffy gets his mindset as the story progresses.
Oh, yeah. But it also just goes to show even more about Shanks, because when Luffy's in the water, there's that freaking sea monster, okay?
Yes.
And it shows up, and Shanks jumps in there, he rescues him, he gives him a hug, and he looks at this freaking sea monster and just gives it a stare, and it's like, oh, okay, nope, I get it, I'm not welcome here. And it leaves, and then we get near full page panel of him just hugging him with no arm, pouring blood into the water like it's no big deal.
Yeah, it's just
God
an arm.
Damn. Showing the fragility of a I'd say main, but a main-ish character in the first chapter kind of surprised me. But it's also it tells you that no one's safe.
Yeah.
These dudes just took care of these pirates like they were nothing. But also now our dude is missing an arm. And that's a pretty hard-hitting panel. It's such a it was so good. It's like the first season of Dragon Ball Z, watching them kill Goku in the first few episodes, and then Piccolo steals Gohan and takes him away to train him. You're sitting there the fuck do you mean Goku just died? What do you mean our main character is dead? It's episode 4.
That's especially funny for Western audiences, who most of the Western audiences started with Z rather than OG Dragon Ball.
See, I was lucky enough to start with Dragon Ball, but yeah, man, it was super weird. How did you handle seeing that for the first time? Just Shanks losing an arm.
Oh, man. Kid me was blown away because you'll have to give me some due because it was, well over a decade ago.
Fuck you. I want you to vividly remember exact thoughts that you had in that moment.
I do recall the first time I reread One Piece with an adult mind, as it were, turning the page to see that panel. Just, God, the sheer emotional strength of watching this guy smiling the whole time, arm ripped off by a sea monster after he stared at it to go away, and just being like, "Hey, you're safe. It's okay. It's only an arm," is just. It hits you right in the core. It's oh, yeah.
Papa
if I was Luffy, this guy would be my hero forever.
Which he clearly is. Everything he does is basically for Shanks at this point.
Yeah,
he gave him his hat and he said, "You need to give this back to me when you become king of the pirates, buddy." And it's I will. This is my hat now.
Yeah.
Did you realize when you were young just how crazy of a symbol that hat would end up becoming?
I don't think I consciously realized it, but as somebody who watched and consumed the story from a pretty young age, anytime you see Luffy do anything with his hat, you quickly realize the level of importance it is, because as he establishes, it's his treasure. It's the most important thing. He's supposed to hold on to it. He's supposed to keep it safe. And ultimately he wants to return it once he becomes a great pirate. Now, what does it mean becoming a great pirate? Does that mean becoming king of the pirates? Does that mean just fully establishing himself? We don't really know at this point. The assumption would be king of the pirates, but it's kind of hard to say at this point. The important thing is not only did Shanks give up genuinely, like, because Shanks was left-handed, just so you're aware.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, originally Shanks is left-handed, which is, he gave up his dominant arm for this.
Damn.
Which is a hell of a thing to do. But not only did he give up, a physical part of him, he also gives up like the most symbolic part of him, because Shanks was known for being the fellow running around with this straw hat for as far as we know him. And that him passing on this hat saying, hey, this is a very important thing to me, I want you to give it back to me once you become a great pirate, is like that extra little emotional gut punch of motivation to really cement the importance of Shanks as a mentor figure and Luffy as a character. Because after all this stuff, after the crew is getting ready to leave and before the hat is given, Luffy, the first time, he declares his desire to essentially become the king of the pirates by himself with his own established crew, rather than forcibly trying to join Shanks' crew like he has been this whole time.
They ain't gonna let him join that crew.
No, he's a milk drinker. Why would you let a little milk drinker like that join? Come on now, don't be ridiculous. Definitely not because it's a little tiny baby boy.
Could he? So here's another question, and maybe this is a spoiler. You'll say you're not going to tell me. If they took him on the crew and they found another devil fruit, can you eat two and get multiple powers?
Let's see. The way I would phrase that question is there are established consequences.
Okay. So I need to look out for that.
In theory.
Duly noted.
It's hard to get into the details, but yeah, believe me, people have been like, oh, could you have two devil fruits? That sounds fascinating. It's a topic that doesn't come up for a couple hundred chapters, actually.
Lovely. But, okay. Well, good to know.
But it's not, it is something that gets brought up down the line.
Okay. Something I want to do every time we meet like a new main character is I want to make a prediction.
Okay.
And so my prediction for Shanks, I have two predictions. One, we're not going to see him for a long ass time. I have a feeling that I'm not going to see Shanks for a couple hundred chapters.
Now, when you say that, are you talking about in flashbacks or in person, or
Luffy interacting in person with Shanks?
Luffy interacting with Shanks.
Yes. I have a feeling we're not going to see Luffy and Shanks. Don't give me that face. That's one of my predictions. I don't know anything about this, man. I don't fucking know. Watch the final chapter of this whole manga. The very final chapter is him putting the hat back on Shanks' head. I can see that happening. My second one is that Shanks is either going to lose a leg or somehow get his arm back.
Fascinating. Any basis for that, or just a gut feeling?
My gut feeling is he will somehow get an arm back, whether it's a mechanical arm or something, or he's going to lose the opposite leg and become like a peg leg or something. I don't know why. That's kind of where I'm at with what I think is going to happen to Shanks.
Yeah, you want to see like some more pirate paraphernalia. Yeah, you want to see the peg legs, the eye patches, things like that.
Oh yeah, if he's going to be our first introduction to like a pirate, technically, I want to see him get so pirated up it's insane.
Yeah. So here's a fun little Oda fact for you that will be fun for you to keep an eye out for. Oda considers one of the most iconic symbols of piracy to be an eye patch.
Oh. I don't remember many characters with an eye patch.
Just something to think about.
Okay. I see how it is. Okay.
But yeah, so that's the first chapter. The chapter ending with Luffy being a lovely, I won't say full grown, because he is 17 now at the end of this chapter, who has gotten a strong hold of his powers and abilities, so much so that he fully lives up to his reputation as the fellow who wants a punch as strong as pistols by hitting the giant Lord of the Coast sea monster with a gum pistol.
What a good way to end a chapter, by having him knock out the monster that took Shanks' arm.
Right. And it is just a gorgeous 2-page spread of just him absolutely decking the shit out of this sea monster. I
dug up an old tablet so I could read it like book sized, but so I could also tilt the tablet and look at the spreads properly. The spreads in One Piece are pretty dang good. I will say I was confused by the first spread because it has Nami in it, and we don't see Nami until the next vault or the next arc.
Yes, that is correct. I mean, it helps prep your mind, because it very clearly shows that Oda had Nami in mind from very early doors.
Oh, I don't doubt.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's his baby.
Oda loves Nami. Another fun Oda fact for you is that Oda actually married a Nami cosplayer, essentially.
That's hilarious.
And they have a very established and healthy relationship by all accounts, including kids. So isn't that nice?
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I like that. Chapter 2. Thank you so much for listening to our episode 1 teaser. The full episode will launch on July 9th, so make sure to follow wherever you're listening to this podcast so you get notified when it goes live, because we've still got 6 whole chapters left to finish out Romance Dawn, and we can't wait for you to experience it with us. If you need more anime content in the meantime, you can check out my podcast, Animates, or Shaun's podcast, Anime Out of Context, on all your favorite podcasting platforms.